Hi, I'm Jan Coulson, this is CyCoffee, and today we're going to talk about consolidating multiple security products. So here's a slide you've probably seen before in some form or other, and it's normally used to sort of illustrate just the sheer number of vendors in the cybersecurity market and how terrifying it is. But just as instructive, you've got the number of security technology categories within that picture as well. Now I counted 73 on this particular picture. Now, not every industry or not every organisation needs to cover every single category there, but it's still a lot of bases to cover, and it's not surprising that the average enterprise is probably managing 50 plus security point products. Even if we zoom in on sort of one area of that market and we just take a look at detection and response, it's probably not uncommon to have maybe 5 or more point products covering just that one area. And the sort of costs there really are that each one of these point products then needs to be managed, it needs to be fed and watered if you like. Each one of them has its own console through which it presents its own alerts, and you then have to be sort of monitoring and dealing with each of these different consoles in order to sort of get your outcome and get your picture. So there have been remedies for this, and the traditional one, if we sort of go back really, is to take these different security point products and apply a remedial technology to aggregate the alerts from these different products, bring them into one place, and then sort of present us with this this most prized thing really that we want, the single pane of glass, that sort of hackneyed term. And it does that. A SIEM will do that. It'll aggregate those sort of alert feeds. It'll present us with a single picture that we can then monitor. But there are some drawbacks, or there are some deficiencies with this model. So the first one is it doesn't help us at all on that input side. So we were previously monitoring or managing, feeding and watering 5 different point products. We're still doing that. We've still got those products to manage. Second thing is that this single pane of glass that we've achieved, it's really just a summary of everything that's going on in our environment, a summary of those point products. And if we need to drill any deeper into those, it usually means going back to the source and going back to the specific console on that product to go and dig in deeper and find the further information really. Then the third thing, or the last thing here really, is that we've introduced this SIEM. It becomes yet another product in our technology stack, and it needs a lot of feeding and watering because they're sort of notoriously heavy on the administration and everything else. So that's one approach to do it. CyNet takes a different approach. We wind the whole thing back really to sort of first principles. And the first thing you can see is that we've put this into a single platform. So we have a single technology to manage. That technology covers everything that the previous point products did. We've got endpoint protection in the form of antivirus, as you'd expect. We've got the EDR, the endpoint detection response stuff. We're also bringing in network and user context feeds into there. And we can even do log analysis as well via the same platform. So the consolidation into a single platform is probably the biggest piece. That also means that we've got just that single console, and the single console is not just for monitoring alerts, it's also for digging back in and doing the investigation side of things as well. Accompanying that then, we've also got within CyNet our SciOps team, whose job it is to feed and water the platform, to maintain the detection logic, so we're always looking for the right things, but also to actually monitor the whole thing 24/7 so that you don't have to. And that should mean that the job of this guy at the bottom within your organisation is really just to respond to the escalations from this team. So a generally much lighter workload for achieving similar outcomes. So in summary, really, the approach of XDR in general, CyNet in particular, is to consolidate all of these detection response functions into one platform where we can just do things more efficiently and provide better outcomes.